Oh fuck.
Oh fuck.
Oh fuck.
Oh fuck, we're podcasting.
Oh.
Hello and welcome to the podcast.
Oh yeah.
We got told off on the internet because when we had CMB on, it took us 45 minutes to introduce him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We won't be making that mistake with our darling Paddy Young.
This is Paddy Young, everybody.
Hello.
He's a nice boy.
Comedian, lovely lad, beautiful man, kind, generous, tender lover.
Wow.
How long does it take you to get the hair perfectly messy?
You're going to hate me for this? It's just how it falls. Some
Nope.
days it's good and sometimes it isn't.
Yeah.
Well, just woke up still cute though. Is that your vibe?
I try.
You had the best. This actually blew my mind. This observation you had, because it was something I had felt for years when I let my hair grow a bit longer. Mm-hmm. And you said it one time we were at doing Thor's gig, and after the gig you were like, the thing is with me with having this long hair is like one in every 3 days it just looks amazing, and then but you don't really know how it's got there, or what the formula is.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
So this is all right, but yeah, it was a bit longer about a year ago, and I looked like a tramp 6 days a
No,
week.
yours was when you had the little hairband. There was
Francesco Totti.
the
It broke
heterosexual
my
hairband.
parents' heart.
Did it?
Toddy wasn't a hairband man very much.
Oh, he
Maybe
was,
early
yeah.
he was.
Toddy.
Yeah, early
Yeah.
Toddy.
Who's this Totti?
Francesco Totti was an Italian
He was a
footballer.
hottie as well.
Oh, really?
Good looking
Hot boy.
man, hothead.
Northern Italian, light eyes.
Played with Roma his whole career, loyal. Wow. Could have followed the money, could have followed the
A
trophies.
one-team
didn't.
man. He was a one-team man.
And you would do that if you were a footballer. I think you would be.
Yeah.
You would stick with the
Loyal?
one team.
No.
And he would, and they'd be shit, and he'd be miserable. But like he'd be like,
You'd be
At least
adored.
I'm loyal.
yeah.
You'd be-
But he'd have the moral high ground. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
you're so wrong about that. Paddy changes with the wind.
Yeah.
He moves wherever the money is.
I think you're wrong.
It's
Paddy's
a terrible
whole
combination
career.
of the two.
Yeah.
I'm a bitter man who's also a complete hack.
Your problem is you tried to sell out.
I'm like this. This is what I think, unless you guys think.
I would like. Would you do? Do you know what I was thinking, Pat? And this I thought about you. I thought Paddy would be an unbelievable dingle in Emmerdale.
A dingle?
A dingle.
What's a
What's a
dingle?
Oh,
dingle?
lads, you know Emmerdale.
You're a
do
big
you?
soap guy. I've never watched soaps. Are you watching soaps?
No, I auditioned for Emmerdale once.
Did you?
Yeah.
That
And
fucking
you
makes
didn't
sense.
do the research.
Didn't
You
get
didn't even. The first question in the audition, they said, "What's
Yeah.
a dingle?" and you ran away.
Yeah, but Pat, I thought this because I was like, why? Because the Dingles are black-haired family of farmers, but they're also crooks. The head of the family is this
So
guy
it's just
Jack
a- it's
Dingle.
My ears are burning.
Yeah, but they are like, you look aesthetic. You'd be
Really? I could be a dingle?
well, you'd be the best looking dingle
No, a
ever.
dingle, that's their surname. That's not like a slur that other people say.
No. That's their surname.
Right.
And they're like they've this jet black hair. There's Kane Dingle's one of the sons. It's an absolute crook and a half. They all look like you, except terribly worse than you.
Right.
I can't believe you didn't get the fucking role in Emmerdale.
I know.
What did you audition for?
I think it was a drug dealer.
Really?
Yeah.
I now know why you didn't get the role. You don't have drug dealer vibes.
Well, in Emmerdale, I could.
But you've been in
I
her-
guess anybody has drug dealer
The
vibes
thing
in
that's
Emmerdale if they're
heartbreaking
not
about-
wearing overalls.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what's heartbreaking when you, because I'm not really an actor anymore, but I was, when you audition for stuff that you're like, that's amazing, you don't get it and you're heartbroken.
Yeah.
What's really heartbreaking is when you audition for stuff when you're like, well, this is crap, and then you don't get that, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not worthy of the farm.
There's got is there not a niceness in like, oh, that was shit anyway? You get to have that. No, it's shit anyway.
Yeah, well, that's what you say to other people.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do it anyway.
Fucking, I probably wouldn't have said yes if they'd
Yeah,
offered me
I'd
that
rather
money.
work on a bar for another 18 months.
Yeah, I would do an ad for cigarettes. I would do
Absolutely.
an ad. Like
BAE Systems. I did it for a weapons manufacturer. Where's the rocket pointing, boys?
I love Mike's doing ads for cigarettes, but he shows up and he's just the model for the dead fetus on the cigarette packet.
They just walk
He's
it
like,
up
if
with
you
you.
could just, if you could just that.
I think you could honestly put C McBee on the front of a pack of fags.
No, he's too happy. If he's
No,
if
but
he's
like-
doing his big.
Who?
Like
Christopher
Christopher
McArthur
McArthur
Boyd.
Oh,
because no,
poor
but
Chris.
I know,
no,
it's
but
so
no,
rude,
but
isn't it?
no, it's not rude. But I'm saying everyone's always on about smoking stunts your growth. You stick him on the front.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Chris is a lovely, happy guy, but when Chris goes miserable, if he tries to do a miserable It's so sad. Like he can make himself quite
If you did a
unsavory.
far away shot of CMB, that would be good for the front of a pack of cigarettes. Close up of your eyes, that's what you need on the cigarette packets.
Of my eyes?
Yeah.
So they can see the golden flecks around my blue eyes. I've stunning eyes.
Do you?
Pad!
There's too much eyelid.
Eyes like wet diamonds. That's what he
Are you
says.
playing deaf and dumb over there? I don't. Can you
Yeah,
see
but
my
you've got
eyes right
so
now?
much haggard eyelid in the way.
How would you fuck off? I'm just older than you are.
I've never seen someone go, I have beautiful eyes.
Oh, lad.
Do you know what? I'm pretty good company right now.
Yeah. Well, listen, Pat. So you don't have to sell this face. It does its talking for you. I've got to point things out. I've got to say, hey,
avoid the nose.
They start looking elsewhere. You're like, no.
yeah.
He tried a burqa for a while, but it didn't work.
My mom did say to me once. She genuinely said, she's like, your mouth is the worst part about your face.
That stays with you forever.
And it has stayed with me forever. This was when I was young.
Crazy.
What was wrong with your mouth?
I don't know. She says it's weird.
It was
I mean,
still
the
around her
lips-
nipple. She was like, you're 13 years old.
Yeah, she said, I don't like this.
But then
Then you looked at her, you gave her a
Yeah.
wink with the blue eyes.
And
She
she
went,
said, those are good.
Go on
That's
then.
Go on. Give the left one a go. don't just hog on the right. So speaking of fucking mothers, you told your mother you were doing a mushroom trip.
I know.
Last week.
he's
I
the king
know.
of segues over here.
What?
Speaking of mothers,
It was until then.
That was a good segue till you. What the hell is wrong with you?
No hitting. No hitting on
no,
the
No, I
podcast.
will say this. This is what he does when we have guests on, is he tries to undermine me constantly. That was actually excellent podcasting, and you absolutely shat on top of it. Because Paddy had told me before he told his mother he was doing mushrooms. I'm talking about my mother. Segue into this good story, and you have to fucking be like, oh yeah, actually he did. You flew. Right, Pad, please.
It's amazing.
Mushrooms.
Amazing to be with you, boys.
grateful to be
To
here.
witness this marriage. But I can't have it's a marriage or you're an alien that's been brought to Earth and it's Mike's job to teach you how.
Yeah, but he's not happy about it.
No, absolutely not.
Of course not.
Well, why do I get landed with having to teach him how to fucking do things? Anyway,
You're so. That's a very good analogy, but you're so fucking you're so bitter about the fact that you just have to tell me when I'm doing things wrong.
100%. Because it's all the time and it's relentless and it's exhausting.
It was
And
so-
do you know what? We'd be knee deep in a great mushroom story now if it wasn't for your big fat head and the words that come out of
We
it.
were recording.
Has it been like this straight away?
What?
fairly
this-
early on.
Yeah. Oh, instantly.
This atmosphere that I walked into when I got here.
Yeah. Oh no, it has. Yeah, that's what people. That's
That's what people are signing up for.
That's what people are in for.
Right.
Yeah, just
Um,
me getting bullied fairly aggressively over the course of 2 hours every week.
Yeah,
Wow.
but that's cathartic for people.
Yeah, it's like long form Dr. Phil.
Absolutely.
It's like if he had the same guest on every single week.
Yeah.
And they never learn.
But it's also that like people know in their hearts he has it coming. Like
Yeah.
that, it's like, so people are like, it is beautiful to watch him be taken down a peg or two.
I've never done anything to anyone.
And then,
Wow.
yet, why are people so happy to see you getting shat upon? Do you know what I mean?
But then you're also benefiting from it, so it's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
I've monetized my own bullying,
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
which is real.
That's amazing.
Listen,
That's good stuff.
That's great.
Let's cut the meta shit here now. We're here to have a good time and tell some stories. Paddy Young did mushrooms,
Yes.
and this is how close your relationship is with your mother, which I thought was striking. That you told her.
Beforehand, did you ask her for her sage advice or for what was the crack?
Here's why. Because I had a birthday drinks thing on the weekend, and then my sisters were there, and then they'd spoken to my mum about it. And then
About what? About
Just about the party.
prospect of
No,
doing,
just about it.
the party more
But
broadly.
they-
About the party in the past tense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they take mushrooms on a fairly regular basis, and are always
And
like
your
telling my
mother
parents
knows?
they should take it.
Wow.
And then I only take drugs at festivals. Like that's the way to do it.
Well, that's a decent
I don't
thing
take
to
drugs,
do.
and then there I go bananas.
Yeah.
At Glastonbury. But I wanted to take them, and then Kate and Pip and my sisters, when they came to the party, they brought me some mushrooms. And then when I spoke,
As a kind of birthday present?
yeah, I guess so.
Did they get you anything else?
No, so I guess
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I reckon that was it. It's kind of sad, isn't it?
What did your sisters get you? Fungus?
Yeah, but at least they were the good type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I spoke to my mum
Yeah.
on the way
What
to
your
my
sisters
flat.
get you athlete's foot?
Huh?
Just the
Yeah,
woe.
they just wiped up against it. Yeah. It's a family recipe. It's your time has come.
You're a man now.
But
With the feet of an athlete. Go on.
yeah, I told my mum.
Yes, sorry.
Oh no, here's why. It's because my mum called me. I was on my way to my house. My friends were there, so I was about to take mushrooms, and my mum was like, "Oh, did you take drugs at the weekend?"
She says to you.
Yeah, because of the party.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
because of the
I
party.
was like, I wasn't going to tell her I was going to take him, but I suddenly thought, oh, I'm about to take drugs, and I don't want to be sat there going, why did I lie to my mum? Why did I? Do you know what I mean?
You have to empty it out now.
Yeah, had that instant thought.
Oh, before you go on a trip?
Yeah, so I just said,
okay.
I said, no, but I'm actually about to. And she was
And
like,
then you just...
yeah, and then I went.
And
Like,
backwards.
you know, when parachuters jump out of the plane
Yeah.
like that. I did a salute.
Yeah.
I went,
Salute,
no, but I'm
and
about
just
to.
went into the Thames.
Yeah, and then took mushrooms. But like, have you done them?
Yeah, lads. I did 7 grams once, and this is
7.
Yeah, I know. And this is genuine. Paddy.
I did 2, and when it ended, I was like that.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the amazing thing for me about taking drugs is, as soon as whatever it is, the moment it's over, I'm like,
yeah.
God.
brilliant.
Yeah, but you're out. I did
7?
I did 7 grams with this Northern Irish shaman. Who was also.
Oh, didn't know they
It's
did
not a
them.
thing.
I
It's
didn't
not
think-
a soothing
he's,
voice.
He's from Derry. He's like, what we're gonna do now? You're gonna, so he's like,
Dairy, bye.
The Peru of the North.
That's right, kind of.
It is bandit country, like.
Right.
And he was there with his lover, she was at least 25 years older than him, but she was like Guatemalan. She was a weird kind of a,
But how old was her soul?
like even older again. Like she was like, she was from another time and place, but she was like kind of an Aztec kind of a lady, but she was an Aztec, yeah. She would have been like just bowling severed heads down fucking pyramids and stuff.
So how many minutes in before we got some sort of slur? We got
Is
sort
that-
of, I don't know, sort of.
Aztec.
Whoa, hold on
Aztec?
now. What have I said wrong?
She's Guatemalan, so she's Aztec. She was bowling heads. She'd be the type to be bowling heads.
have I said something wrong here?
the
Have I gone into territory I
It's the
shouldn't
national
have?
game of Guatemala, bowling heads.
But down the pyramids, you've seen fucking Apocalypse. Listen,
Anyway,
we're not gonna.
The Aztecs are not in.
But they're not in. She's an older lady.
Sure.
But I believe that there was a magnetism to her, and I don't know if she had him under some sort of a spell.
Wow.
But she was making these like little potions. So when she gave us the mushrooms, she mixed it with like cacao and then like bits of severed head or whatever, and she had this little thing, and then she gave it to us, and I didn't know, but one of the guys that we were doing the trip with was like, there's 7 grams of psilocybin, that's a lot of psilocybin, bro. And I didn't
You went to Derry with Shia LaBeouf?
huh? With Shia LaBeouf, yeah.
Wait, this is not your first time doing it.
No, it wasn't my first time doing mushrooms, but I hadn't done mushrooms much, and I didn't really know what 7 grams meant. So I did the mushrooms, and I went just literally on a trip through time and space. We were lying down. There was a fireplace there. We were lying down on these mats. This ancient Guatemalan was here with her fucking IRA fellow with her, and it was just odd and strange. But like, I genuinely believed I was different. Like, I swear on my life, I believed for about 15 minutes I was a black woman.
Wow.
I don't know. I cannot explain that. And it was just me. I was in this kind of dream where it was just me and just these other black women who were like my sisters. No one else was around. It was just the strangest thing.
Sisters or sisters?
Huh?
Sisters?
Would you just cop on? Would you just behave yourself? I'm trying to talk about a vulnerable
How
experience.
could you say that
here.
in front of a black woman?
In front of a black
A woman of
Shaniqua
colour.
here. Now, I know Paddy's going to be Paddy. This is Paddy. Like,
He's squirming.
yeah,
He's squirming.
Time to disassociate.
yeah.
You're gonna see this clipped up with you not having a laugh at me like that.
But I love the idea of Paddy having like a little Top Gun Maverick ejector
an
button where
ejector
he
on
can
the
just-
Or I'm also like, in Ocean's 11,
Yeah.
when he's got to pass the lie detector test, so he puts a nail in his shoe.
Yeah.
So you can pass. That's what I'm doing now, so I can pretend I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Well. So listen. This is anyway. The trip was insane.
Yeah.
Went through like time didn't exist. It was the most
You
incredible.
properly detach them, because sometimes people do
Completely.
mushrooms a little bit and it's just like, oh, that TV's wobbling a bit.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
properly detached from reality.
Oh no, I was gone through time, space. I couldn't stop laughing. All these things. It was crazy. But then when
You
I
got there, is that what they call it? Getting there?
I don't know, but it's
You
enough.
broke through. You went to the.
I went
whatever.
to some other side or time or place, and I was a beautiful black woman, and there was other stuff. But when I came down, kind of simmered down into the thing, it took a dark turn, and I wasn't right for months after that.
Really?
I was supposed to move to London. This was at the end of June. I was supposed to move to London in September, and I just didn't. because I was too afraid, and I started getting afraid to get on stage. I was like, I went through a very dark period. It was too much. It was too much.
Wow.
It was too much
You're
drugs.
trying to make way for all the black women in your life?
Well, no, not
You're
really.
creating space?
No.
I mean, you'd seen the signs, no black, no dogs, no Irish. You're like, well, I'm two of those.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a fucking dog, if you know what I mean.
I'm all three, baby. I'm the whole game.
Tails on your legs.
So
What were you? Was there a tangible thing, or was it like just an abstract fear?
it was do you know what it was? Everything in my life, every we'll say facet or fact in my life, just took on this little. So like I was just like,
Just dialed up slightly.
why are you doing comedy? Why are you doing like everyone's laughing at you? Like everyone just thinks this is ridiculous that you're doing this. It's sad.
Wow.
Blah blah blah. Like so everything just that, and in every aspect of my life, even in with girls or so, I think of like girls I saw and it's like, yeah man, they thought you were really weird that you were like, so everything just and I was just like in like a place of like just fucking like you know, and it took a good while to get back out of it. But I've heard of other people that's
They never get out. They stay in the sunken place.
they stay
Well, I
in
mean,
the
that's a
sunken
lot
place.
because 5 grams is a hero's dose. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
That's the thing. People try and give you the science of it, and it's all no one knows, do they?
Nah. No, because my friend
It's all rubbish.
Splan did it and he came out, you know.
Like the man I met.
Yeah, absolutely. He was delighted after
He screams mushrooms.
100%.
He's got athlete's cock.
Well, he shakes his head like this much.
What happened to Spillane? Athlete's brain.
Yeah.
Athlete's cock. Oh, I love that. But how did you feel? How was your...
It's a bit much, innit?
Yeah.
I do it so rarely, and there was things about it that were really amazing, like the sky looked like a painting, and we walked around the South Bank and we, you know, looked at tiles for a bit and were amazed at tiles. So all that's good, but for me, there's just moments which become, oh my god, this is funny. Do you know? Do you know? So we were incredibly high at one point.
Yeah.
But we were doing all right, and then we were walking down the South Bank. You know, like I would never want to see anyone that I know, whoever it is.
While on mushrooms?
Yeah.
Or in general.
Yeah, no. Oh, in general, I don't like seeing.
bumping into
In general, I
people.
don't like seeing people, but in mushrooms, I certainly don't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we walked along South Bank, and it was Ivor Dembina. I don't know if you know him. Love the guy.
He's from Camden Comedy Club.
Yeah, he runs Camden Comedy
Oh,
Club on a
never met
Saturday.
him.
Right.
He's I think he's in his 70s.
Old comedian
Yeah, he sells
guy.
Jewish joke books at the end of his show. He's brilliant. I really get on with him. But on
mushrooms. You don't get on with anyone.
don't want to see that at all.
No.
So I didn't know if he saw me or not.
Yeah.
But I didn't. He talked to my friend because he tried to sell my friend a joke book or something. I don't know. But I moved on, and then I was paranoid for the next like half an hour or so that he'd see me, and my friends had to convince me otherwise. So they were just like, you know.
Yeah.
You're always on the precipice. That's how I feel with psychedelics. You're
It's just about to go bad.
Yeah, it could just be, and I just kept having to tell myself like it's fine. So some of it was incredible, but then other parts were just teetering on trauma. And then
Yeah.
when it was over,
But
and we were in
you
the
went-
flat, I was just delighted. We watched Mission Impossible.
You went
Yeah.
on like a walkabout trip. See, this is my thing with drugs is I always have to be like in one place with people I like trust, and it's going to be okay.
Well, we started in my flat and on my balcony, and then we all just felt like we had to get out of there.
Yeah. I've at this stage, I don't think I'll ever do psychedelics again. I've done it a lot. Like I did acid a lot, and I thought I was a woman another time as well. I genuinely think I might be a woman. I know that sounds like I'm being glib. Like I won't go through it, whatever you'd have to go through it. But I think there is something going on there because it's happened to me many times.
And what's just like? Is it you
It's
start liking gossip?
No, listen. This is exactly because as a real
I'm
woman,
trying to bite on my
I
cyanide
would
pill
know-
right now.
You cannot. Do you not understand this now? None of your pseudo misogyny now with Paddy Young. He's the biggest
he's
lover of
skittish.
women. He's got
skittish.
two sisters.
Three sisters.
The 3 sisters. I know 2 of them. The twins.
Speaking of the 3 sisters,
And I tell you what, Mike loves intellectual discussions about fighting women with them.
Huh? Oh yeah.
We're at, last year we were all having drinks, and Who was it? They brought it up, didn't they? My sisters.
You're talking about fighting women?
No, I tell you what. I think I might.
Crazy.
And the funny thing
You
is,
know when you're writing about you represent this podcast.
listen to this now. This is you'll love this. I mean, you'll be on my side completely. You're about to come in your little britches there.
I've got an open mind.
Actually, I'm dreading this.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know why I brought it up here.
You brought something like this is going to be literally you're putting petrol in his tank. He's going to be just so. We were at Paddy's. It was Paddy's birthday last year, right? And we were at the fucking Gladstone Arms. It was just Paddy, Horatio, Paddy's sisters, a few people having drinks. It was real nice, right? So we're there anyway. I can't remember how it comes up, but the argument comes up about men or women being stronger. Who's stronger, men or women? And like, and I'd actually gotten an argument with a lady in Berlin about this before, where I was just like, she goes, women are a lot stronger than men, and I was like, well, yeah, in some ways, but like, I goes, obviously, men are physically stronger, and she goes, no. She goes, they're not. And she gave me this theory about how the only reason we're stronger is because when women were pregnant historically, they weren't able to gather as much food. So the men would be gobbling the food. And that's why we're stronger. And
Where the fuck she pulled that
I don't
from?
know, but this was her argument. But anyway, so it comes up anyway at this party. Now, what I should have said was nothing here. But then one of the girls, and this is not
I
the
love
first...
pregnant women in the past famously left to fend for themselves.
Well, I don't know. I'm just telling you the argument that was said, right?
That's
but
what
this
she
argument
said.
was because something came up about men being stronger than women, and then one of the girls said like Serena Williams. Now that's always brought up. She was like Serena Williams.
She's a big girl.
She's a strong lady, but she was like, "Do you think you'd beat Serena Williams in a fight?"
Powerful woman,
right? But she says to me, "Do you think you'd beat Serena Williams in a fight?" I said, "Yes, I do," because yes, I do think I would win.
That was the way your point was yes I do, and your explanation
the
was
thing that my
yes I
sisters
do.
found funny is there was no moment of like introspection.
No.
You weren't like, well, she's a world class athlete
an
and this and
elite
that
athlete.
and works out this many hours a day and has got the best trainers in the world and has got high pain threshold and this and that. You didn't go like this. You didn't go because even if you'd gone like this. Yeah, I think I would. That'd be one thing. But they went, do you think so? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And then what's really annoying is Horatio, who he won't mind me saying is a sap.
Yeah.
He was like, oh yeah, I could do it too.
Yeah.
And I was like, Horatio.
I would buy it from Mike, but Horatio's not beaten. But Horatio wouldn't even beat Venus Williams in a fight.
he wouldn't beat the mother.
He wouldn't beat Cat Williams.
But
it was
so this debate honestly went on for hours
until my next birthday
because the girls were now Paddy was on team Serena beat the shit out of Mike, and Horatio finally conceded because it was so laughable that he might beat Serena. He said, right, I wouldn't beat her, but he threw all his weight in behind that fact that Mike would beat Serena, which I thought was nice. But
what height's Serena?
5'8" or something.
Yeah, they were talking about wings, but it's never a good look when a man's in a pub talking about reach. when a man is surrounded by women and he's talking about reach, it's crazy. I'm like, why on earth would you die on this hill? Even if I thought I would be, that's the other thing. I'm not even going to get into like why I think you must be really wrong, but I would never die on that hill.
Yeah, I know, Pat, but that's but
you're and he's like demonstrating with my sister's face, like you see.
But Pat, just keep them at the end of your jab, Paddy.
But Pat, what you've got to understand is you've put your self-esteem eggs in a lot different areas than I have. So your self-esteem eggs are in the fact that you're probably that you're like funny and smart. Good actor.
So are you.
And good eyebrows.
No, right. But you have But what
he's
you
funny.
have to, but what,
whenever he compliments me, it's always through gritted teeth.
Yeah.
Mike Rice has never said anything to me like, "You've got this going," but he's always like, "You fucking got."
I don't, Paddy. I think that's how you're perceiving it, and I think you have a mistrust of men. But and that's honest to God. I think you're very wary of other men, and I think you've got a problem. But.
Crazy. The mental arithmetics you boys have to be, mildly misogynistic is amazing.
No.
I've got distrust of
What's
men.
mildly misogynistic of saying you beat the fuck out of Serena Williams?
I did not beat the fuck. I'd win. Because I'm not
like a decision.
I'm not going to give up. I could be. I'm not saying how it's going to happen.
I'm not saying that is misogynistic.
You're not calling them
I'm not
out.
saying that is.
Yeah. That was I was
That
asked.
wasn't misogynistic.
That wasn't.
But it was the speed and the sureness that I was like.
Okay.
That's what bear in mind, my sisters weren't angry. They found it funny.
No,
because they just found it funny that the speed at which Mike was like, yeah, it's just it's not even a conversation.
Do you think there are any female athletes who could beat you in a fight other than fighters? Anyone in the UFC will kill you.
Yeah.
Any one of the female UFC fighters.
Yes.
But like a WNBA player, a big tall WNBA player.
Yeah, they could. Yeah,
They could beat you in a fight?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because they're so big and the reach.
But not fragile old
It's all
Serena.
about the reach.
They're not out haggard Serena, out fucking the wind would
Oh,
blow her
lost
over
the Princess
Serena.
Williams.
Listen, she's a kite woman. The wind would blow her away. Now, but what I'm saying to you, Pat, though, is because you're like, oh, why would you argue this? Now, it's because I grew up.
It's because you trust men.
Farm. I do more than you, Pat. You assume everyone has devious motives. You don't trust anyone. Everyone's a snake, a rat, a weasel, a slug,
A pig.
And I think
A fool.
I think it speaks to your character more than it does anyone else.
What?
Because you're just looking at everyone else going, everyone else must be as devious as me. Because you're quite a devious man.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is.
And that's
from
these two.
I'm the least devious guy in the world.
Come on now.
Oh, come
I've never
on.
devied.
Angelone.
I've never deviated once.
Listen now. Don't piss in our pockets and tell
I
us
told
it's
the
raining.
party line.
We know. Come on.
Who have I deceived?
Come on now. Pull the other one.
I'm
Clinically
clinically honest.
So you think I'm very deceptive?
No, I didn't say you're deceptive.
Oh, what did you? I mistrust people.
No, I think this is not in. I think you
Are scared of men.
No, I think you imbue a lot of people with nefarious motives.
I won't
and
deny it.
You
It's the
kind
most
of
devious. You never do your own dirty work.
well.
What do you mean?
Well, say this now. What are you talking
never
about?
do your own dirty work. Paddy's always planting seeds. He's always planting bad seeds about the place.
Am I?
What?
Go on. Tell me.
You're
Go
a wee
on.
gossip as well because
Oh,
everyone
look-
trusts Paddy
we love
because of his kind eyes and eyebrows.
Well, first of all, thank you once again. Once again, a compliment, which you know. Look, a lot of men and generally women can give compliments like that. You have to give them, seated in something
no,
horrible.
But what I was.
We all
everyone trusts you,
we
and it's
all love
awful.
gossip.
you do, but you're particularly. You're like.
Do you think?
Yeah, you do love it.
If I hear someone goes, you know who's really bad?
Yeah.
You give yourself
Yeah.
whiplash.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Yeah, but
so do you get though. So.
But when I do love it as
Loves it,
well,
loves
and
it.
it's
But not as many people trust Mike. This is the thing. You've got
Well,
everybody.
that's because
saying-
he's talking about either being a black woman or fighting one. Real head scratch of that one. I wonder why they don't trust me, says he.
Do you know what?
checks his reach.
Do you know what,
just by
actually?
centre court. Just to size
I'd
her up.
actually push back on that, and I say that I am very trustworthy, and a lot of people trust me.
No, I think you are trustworthy, but I don't think people inherently. There's just something about him. People just divulge
They
evil
don't, by
things
the
to
way,
him.
because a lot of people tell me, and I don't want this to turn all like therapy, right? But the amount of people that meet me, and then the third time they meet me, they're like, "Oh, I just thought you were like really unhappy, moody. I didn't want to speak to you because I just got like, because I think I can just be quite blank
and you're
when people
not.
meet
You're
me.
not those things.
No, I'm a fucking ray of sunshine.
Paddy, can you please?
Everyone's always like this. Whenever I'm around friends, everyone's like, "Could you dip the energy a bit, Pad?"
Fucking cool it.
It's
cool it.
very
So
jazz
that's what you
hands,
guys.
it's very-
You and Horatio mock me a lot. Call me sulky.
Well, you are.
I don't get the sulky vibe from you.
Yeah, because he wouldn't let you see that now.
Yeah,
You know what
maybe I
mean?
haven't sulked around.
I think
you
you're a
much.
bit of a rascal.
Well, that's good. I like that. I'll take that over sulk.
Yeah.
These boys, they mock me.
Yeah, but you've
they call
not-
me princess every time.
Well,
Do you know why I think you're devious?
Tell me.
It's the way you move on stage when it's not going well.
Go on.
You start to hunch
That's a
over a
dig.
little
That's
bit.
a dig. When it's not going well.
When
Yeah.
it's not going well.
You look
Yeah.
like you're sniffing something out when
Yeah,
you
it's true.
you start to collapse in on yourself.
It's true.
And you turn into Randall from
Yeah,
Recess.
It's true. It's a defense mechanism.
And you
Yeah.
just
Because early days you bottle up, and then what I can't do is like just pretend that it's all brilliant.
Right.
So I do just sort
you
of
kind of stalk the
I
stage
think-
a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, these lot hate me. Oh, you want to dislike me? Then I'll be everything you hate.
Yeah.
You become
And
whatever
then I
they
lash
want
out.
from you.
And then also you imbue the fact that you're not doing well because they all have nefarious
Oh,
motives.
it's all projection. It's 100% projection.
They're all crooks. They're weasels.
That
they're
was the
rats.
least funny crowd I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
They bombed that whole time.
But on the Serena thing, to bring it back to that very quickly, when I say to you that your self-esteem is probably put up in being funny and smart and these things like that,
Right.
I wasn't. That was just that because I'm saying that in the way I grew up,
Yes.
farm, playing hurling, all these things, I have my little ego is attached a bit to being like
Physical
I
stuff.
Could be, I win.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that triggers that in me.
Yeah.
Because that's how I grew. No, I beat her. So
Yeah.
that's why I would have reacted so quickly.
And
to
I'll
that.
say as a counterpoint, I was a very small, very weak child who hit
Yeah.
puberty very late. So that was never an option.
yes,
That was not where your self-esteem became wrapped up
It
in.
never could be.
Do you think you'd beat Serena Williams at chess?
No. I can't play chess. I'm thick.
Neither can she.
Some people don't know about me.
She's thick.
that you're
I'm-
thick. Are you thick?
Yeah.
She's thick.
Are you?
In a lot of ways, yeah, really.
Right.
But you're thick, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I am thick. Like it was so dumb in so many ways. But I think it's more apparent with me. I think people can.
Yeah.
If I'm like I'm
There's
thick,
an
people
honesty to your thickness.
what's that supposed to mean?
It's on
There's
the
a
surface.
wholesomeness kind
It's
of.
on the surface.
Right.
People like it was what you were about to say, and you got angry. You were
Well, I
about to
can,
be
that's
like,
'cause I can say it.
Yeah.
I don't want you to
I
say
was
it.
complimenting you.
Were you?
Yeah, you're
Well,
very
finish it
you're
then.
very upfront about how much of a fucking idiot you are.
Whereas I imagine you're very good at chess, but when it comes to like shaking their hand afterwards, you're like, boop, 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 boop. Error, does not compute. If I wanted to beat you at chess, I would just make eye contact with you for 15 seconds and you'd start buzzing, smoke would come out your ears. He is devious. The Vittorio bot cannot understand. Why am I feeling this way?
On the record yesterday for the Patreon, Mike tried to bring up like a nice topic. He's like, "Hey, we were both at Katie Green's birthday the other day," and I was like, "Yeah, I came home, cried for an hour, found it very, very stressful."
Did you?
He cried for an hour afterwards. Yeah. And do you know what? And let's go
Really?
move
Dive
right
out.
around the subject.
Social interaction is very hard for me, but it was just funny
Okay.
that he assumed it would be a nice
I
topic.
honestly think, without joking, when your test comes back,
Yeah.
I think it will make sense for you, and it will be what I'm being serious.
No, I know.
He's
yeah.
being sincere and
No,
nice.
and I
And
like
then,
it.
and then
I
you
used
won't
to
be
be
allowed
so-
to be mean to him. You'll have to
Can we
take
have-
him.
No, I know. Yeah, I'll
We
have
have
to
a
bring
bit
him
of
When he goes
decor.
that-
bring him down like
Yeah.
Michael Jackson's monkey
Please
bubble.
don't touch me.
And then when he's at your side going, that is a subjunctive. Used
Please don't
incorrectly.
touch me.
You'll be my bubbles.
Please don't touch me.
Remember Michael Jackson and a monkey that he used to bring around.
And you're going to be the paedophile of the organisation?
Well, I didn't think the analogy through. I didn't.
Expose himself once again.
Michael Jackson is somewhat a black woman.
Well, yeah, he's not unlike one. Certainly, there's been further things. Listen, what you do, Pat, all you have to do for this, because I've seen what happened to Matty Healy, and that's exactly what could be on the cards for you.
He got his
What?
shows cancelled
The
in
lead singer
Malaysia.
in 1975. He laughed along.
Oh, yeah.
To stuff on
He
the Adam
did more
Friedland
than
show.
laugh along.
And he did to one or two things, and then everyone went mental at him. So all you have to do is when we
I got this.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, lad.
This is a quote, but I saw a video of Matty Healy today. He was performing in Kuala Lumpur and he got loads of his Asian dates pulled because he kissed the guitarist on stage because it's like illegal to be gay in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And he thought it would be like a rebellious act and he like turned off all the lights and cancelled the festival. And then he called the government a bunch of retards.
Whoa.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said. That's
That's
a quote.
That's a quote. He's not saying
That's
that.
a quote.
I can't stand
That's
the
a
cunt.
lyric. I think
Huh?
he
I
said
can't
it on
stand
stage.
him.
Matty Healy.
Yeah.
But you're so similar.
Oh,
I think we look similar.
Messy hair.
You do, and you're you're both heartthrobs, but I think you're definitely on the
Begrudging heartthrobs.
kinder spectrum.
Well, that's kind of you to say.
Pad. You don't take anything I say nice about you seriously.
I'm seeing the sulk.
I think you're the funniest, the nicest, the most beautiful. You know, but you can't.
Yeah, I guess.
The most gentle, most giving. You've got lovely sisters.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Careful.
No. But
Don't be fighting them now.
But Pad,
Tell me.
I have something to say to you. You were, you've been hypnotized, and is that because you weren't happy with yourself?
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so no, you've
Look who I
been
am.
saying hypnotist. You've been saying hypnotist. Why are you saying look who you are? Oh, like on the face of it, you're great. You're
Yeah.
killing it. You're a very, very handsome boy. Very, very talented boy.
Thank you.
Charismatic, nice. Why are you going to hypnotists for? Why are you
Well,
going and getting into all that juju?
I did it. I saw a therapist about a year ago, and he was like, more.
He just had too many qualifications for you.
yeah. Well, that's the thing is that they want you to start like delving into stuff, and I'm not.
That's like let's do Reiki. You need to do Reiki.
I tried to do that, and I just don't want to unearth that.
feel
So
bad,
hypnotism just seems amazing to me because it's like you don't have to do any work.
Yeah.
It's like and that's the same with mushrooms. People say, "Oh, mushrooms can fix things." Anytime someone can say, "Oh, you know this thing that you struggle with mentally," there's a thing you can do that just. I'll always do that rather than any work.
Cold plunges, like any of that stuff.
Anything like that, I'll do.
How'd it go?
So I did it over Zoom.
Right.
You did a hypno-Zoom?
Yeah.
Right.
So
it feels like an in the room thing.
Yeah, I think so. It was yeah.
No, was it on Zoom?
Hypnotism, jiu-jitsu, you kind of want to be in the room a little bit, don't you?
So wait, where were they? Were they in the same country as you?
Yeah, it was in Bristol.
Right, okay, he was in Bristol.
Yeah.
Where I assume many hypnotists live.
Yeah, for sure. They're all
Big hypno vibe in Bristol.
Oh, they're all down there in the southwest.
Yeah, there's a lot of people going around.
Yeah, turning people into chickens.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was hoping for, but it didn't put me under.
Right.
But what really bummed me out is that we did it. So it was however much it was, like £90 for
90?
Yeah. I feel like
that's standard for hypnotism.
Yeah.
I've been to a hypnotist.
Why are you both going to hypnotist?
Anyway,
I've been to a hypnotist, but only as a child.
It was £90. Well, let's get to that in a bit. I think your parents need a lot of money back. No, we would turn him into a human.
Tried to hypnotize me.
He was a little wooden boy.
Everyone off forever.
He's Pinocchio.
Yeah.
They tried to hypnotize me neurotypical. It didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like Pinocchio, but every time you lie, your forehead gets bigger.
It's the back of my head that's big.
Well, your forehead's no prize either, I'll tell you that.
Fuck off.
And that's only getting bigger. What was I saying?
So you were at the
Yeah,
hypnotist.
here's what broke my heart. Is
Right.
we did a few things, and then it was £90, and I was obviously not aware of time because I was trying to get hypnotized.
Yeah.
We did it, and I thought this might be going on a bit longer than normal, but
Maybe
whatever.
you've
'Cause it was an
transcended
hour-
time itself.
Well, exactly. I didn't
Yeah,
know what,
yeah.
and also he's in charge of it. Then we did it all, and then he was like, "We did it," and then he said, "Oh, and just so you know, we did go half an hour early, so it will be £120," and then stop the Zoom, and I was like,
You scumbag.
yeah," because then
Did you pay?
Yeah.
But it already happened.
But yeah, I paid afterwards. But it
But I
discoloured the whole
wouldn't-
experience because instead of leaving with like a whatever, I can do anything, whatever. I was like, oh,
Well, you feel violated.
Yeah, £30 taken off
You've
me.
been
That's a
absolutely.
fucking joke.
isn't that crazy?
You've been touched
ripped
up.
off there.
Oh, I was not.
You've been touched up.
I
You were
can't
not.
believe you
I was
paid.
molested.
I
Yeah.
can't believe you paid the extra.
Yeah.
I would have 100% just paid the
Is it all
90.
starting to make sense now why I'm getting hypnotised?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're trying to
And
please
even I
everybody.
go there and they're doing me over.
lad.
God, I see why you don't
I
trust
mean, you
men.
guys only charged me £60 to be on here, and I'm thankful for that. I'm making sure we're right on time. Yeah, Pat, that'll be 120 because we did the Patreon. Okay. Thanks, boys.
Thanks for
Walking out of
having
every
me.
podcast studio and sound like that.
Worth every penny. Pad, I think there is something though about and I think hypnotists fall in the same ballpark as therapists in that I used to have this German therapist, loveless man, kind of quite stoic, but he would finish the session 10 minutes early every time, and I'd be in the middle of talking about my father not loving me, and then he'd be like, "Oh, have you finished?" And I'd be like, and I just felt like every time I was like, "You're rinsing me here,"
Yeah.
and you clearly don't care. You're looking at the
Yeah.
fucking
He's
watch.
playing solitaire on his... Yeah, yeah.
100%, or fucking Minesweep or whatever. And
Fucking Krauts, they love the mines.
They love to- That's exactly what I
They're
was
yearning
thinking.
for the trenches.
100%. So just fucking nothing but the battle of
It'd
the
be
Somme
better
on
if
the
it was
mind.
minesweeping like in a pub where he's just like drinking out of your water when you're not.
Yeah. But then it turned out that it's actually a thing. It's a therapist hour. It's 50 minutes, and I was.
Oh, really?
Like a baker's
dozen, yeah.
Like a baker's dozen.
That's
yeah.
crooked.
But which is fucking crooked
That is
anyway.
so crooked.
Which is a load of shite. But I went to hypnotist as well when I was younger. In my very late teens, early 20s, I was getting panic attacks and I wouldn't be able. My willy wouldn't work, and I thought that a hypnotist could fix that.
You said you were a little boy?
Well,
Late teens,
none
early
of
20s.
None of our willies worked when we were.
Yeah, so how old were you?
Like I was like from like the ages of my late teens to into the early 20s. But
see.
when I went to the hypnotist, I was 22, and I just thought like she'd be able to fix it like that. You don't go to therapy or talk about that. They'll just fix your mind.
Wow.
And
they're like dangling a cock in front of you instead of a watch.
honest,
You are getting horny.
You're feeling very, very hard.
very, very horny. But it was like in Kilkenny, my local, like where I'm from. So I went in there and like
The
your
local the parish hypnotist.
yeah, but
What a town.
Yeah, but your one couldn't believe. Like I was definitely the first person that ever come in. You know, in Kilkenny, like it's very agricultural.
She was baffled
She
when
couldn't believe it.
She was really
She was
surprised when he pushed the beads out of the way and walked into the room.
She couldn't. Yeah, absolutely. She pushed them down. You know, so
Putting on bracelets, just more and more bracelets.
So I came in and then we were chatting and so she didn't, and I'm telling her anyway. I'm like, it's hard to tell the woman. I'm 22. I was like, yeah, Willie doesn't work, kind of thing. And then me looking at the ground, and then I could kind of tell she doesn't know what to do with this. But anyway, so then she puts me on the chair and she's like, she goes, you're down, and she's like, you're under. And I was like, I'm not under. You know what I mean? But then I'm like, I'm so worried about making her feel good.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll pretend to be under, just so that she doesn't feel bad about it.
Mike's the type of fella that would fake an orgasm with a prostitute.
Yeah. And I did that as well in Amsterdam once, but I'm not going to go into that. That's another time, Pat.
Yeah, that's why he was in there.
Yeah. But so
One
then,
thing leads to another. Go on.
But so then I was on. So she thinks I'm under, and she doesn't know what to do really. So she's just kind of spitballing. So she starts just going, cock down,
No.
cock up.
No.
I swear to God.
She says cock.
Yeah. Well, or penis or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd hope so.
Yeah, I hope it was penis.
She's
but-
going like... she's
What's the
saying
worst?
cock.
What's the worst
Throbbing
word she
cock
said?
down.
Willie's
throbbing-
got to be the worst.
Huh?
Willie down, Willie up.
Yeah.
Well, I
Willie
think there's
down.
something nice about
Cock,
Willie. Cock is
I don't
quite a
think cock's
violent
too
word.
bad.
Cock is,
Willie
yeah.
good, but dick, you wouldn't want dick down.
It's
Dick
better
up.
than cock.
Yeah.
Cock is probably the worst.
I think cock's probably quite a nice because you don't want penis. Penis feels very clinical.
Yeah.
Well, it does, but cock is kind of porny, isn't it? It's like, give me that cock.
Bride
No?
frightener.
Huh?
Bride frightener.
I've never heard
That's what they
that.
used to call big ones in my
Paz.
A
hometown.
bride frightener?
Pad!
As
know.
in wedding night, first time
Yeah.
you've seen it.
You're cancelling yourself on this one, Pad. We're the ones
bride
trying to look away here.
Can't believe
It's
it.
gone
You,
rogue. Bride frightener.
That's what they called them in my hometown.
Well, don't try to pass it off on them. You've said it.
I'd never said it in my life. I still haven't.
That came up from a deep, dark place.
wow.
But yeah, so then
What town are you from?
Scarborough.
That's Scarborough. Is the bride frighteners?
Yeah, it's on the welcome sign.
yeah.
Or do we have to
Bride
say bride
frightened.
frightener?
Yeah. Don't come in here if you don't want to be frightened. If you're a bride.
So anyway, she said cock up, she said cock
But
down.
she's cock up, cock down, and I was just sitting there like.
And
sure-
was your cock doing stuff? Are you feeling tingles?
My cock had never. My cock was dead duck down there. It was like fucking. You know what I mean? It was just like a plank of wood. You know, like just dead
Yeah.
wood. There's wood lice down. It was a whole. It was. I was nothing, and she was down. And but then she goes, and then goes, and yeah, and then I had to be like, whoa, what the hell?
No.
Oh.
Like grabbing at her, like just being
You
like, "Fuck
making
me."
my dreams come true. Da, 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 da. And it was like, I think it was 100 quid, 90 quid or 100 quid, something like that. And just had to go out and be like, that was a complete. But I didn't want to hurt her feelings or discourage her from being, because it must be hard to be a hypnotist in Kilkenny anyway without like
That's true. A lot of skeptics in Kilkenny.
Yeah.
And you have to be open to being hypnotized. But I guess if you're going in through the door, sorry, if you're going in through the beads.
I mean, it shows well on you, though, that you were, even in that moment of crisis.
Yeah.
You were showing kindness to a lady.
Yeah.
I was.
Maybe that's part of your
he
problem.
He fought her after.
Right, that I'm too nice. Well, I do think that part of my thing was that I did used to see sex as a kind of
A violent act towards women.
A little bit, yeah. Did you
You
ever?
didn't want to do that to them.
Can we go back to fighting women, please?
Yeah, you were. There's nothing I can say to please you. I'm a thug
Like,
one end. I'm
when
a
I'm-
sap the other.
Yeah, I know.
But I was going to say to you.
So that's your experience of hypnosis?
That's my experience.
I had a hypnosis for anxiety. I had hypnosis tape, but then
Yeah.
I went to the crystal healer. I've told you about the crystal healer.
You have, yeah.
Yeah, but then I had a weird thing where I was quite into like hypnosis porn for a while,
What's that?
where like somebody gets hypnotized in the thing.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was- I
they're
don't know
not,
why.
they're not doing it to the camera.
No, but I've also done like porn where you don't have to use your hands supposedly, and they just talk you into coming.
What?
I think you, and I know a little bit about you sexually. I think you might like that.
Give it a go. Just say type in hands free
I
to
don't watch
Pornhub.
porn. You're going to hate me for this.
No, I don't either.
Never have, never would.
Of course I have. I told you I was a small boy. I was like, don't worry, guys, I'll wait it out. Yeah, it'll be another 6 years, but I don't know, I feel good.
I'll take care of myself for the next 4 to 5.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was hypnotising myself those years. I didn't need but wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
and
you just like hypnotism as genre.
Yeah.
And when it was
Well,
getting
it's
done
like
to you.
it tells you to like tense and then untense and then tense and then untense and then you're supposed to. And I got pretty close, but I never finished without using my hands.
Because I think the one thing I wouldn't need is to be trained into coming earlier and easier.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, you don't even need to touch. Oh, that isn't the problem.
No. But,
know?
Pat, what you need to do, and it'll
Tell
help
me.
every aspect of your life, is get on antidepressants.
I've thought about it.
Mike's telling everyone to get on antidepressants these days.
Yeah.
The problem is, I did sertraline for I don't know 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Which I've heard is a spoof.
That was only because, huh?
I've heard it's a spoof.
It's not a spoof.
What? It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It made me tired.
Did it?
Yeah, but I was really depressed. I had a really bad job. I've told you about Bongo, that job I did before, the texting job.
No.
No.
You ever get a you ever seen an advert? It used to be on like music channels.
Yeah.
And then it could be an advert and it would say, Bongo's a monkey who knows everything about you. Text 66668.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll give you, and then you put in your full name and it would go,
And it was
Bongo knows
you-
Mike is the bluest-eyed boy in town. Shame
And
he
you
can't
were
keep
Bongo?
it up. Huh?
You were Bongo?
I was Bongo the monkey in my flat.
You were Bongo.
Yeah.
You were
Well, there's a
replying to
bunch
these
of us being
texts?
Bongo. Huh?
There was a squadron of bongos,
Yeah. Pat,
and you would get
I was
the
giving people
text.
relationship advice. They were paying £2.50 a text.
Would you search them online
Yeah.
and
And then we'd add them to the database. I'm not sure if we'd talk about this.
it's all. Pat, can you do the little monkey thing that you do?
What
that you
thing?
saw a chimp doing? Them?
What chimp?
Didn't you see a video of a chimp where you go, and
When
then
it's
you
love
do
and
that
life?
when.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw a chimp do that. Yeah. Do you mean yeah? And it looks like, you know, when you're trying to
but they're in extreme pain?
it looks like when when you're trying to get purchase on a boobie.
Yeah.
And you know, you're having the time of your life.
Yeah.
You're just
You're trying to reach.
You want it all. You've got 95% is as good as a situation as it can be. But you just
Yeah.
think, if I just if I could just
Get more taking in my mouth.
would it be greedy if I just
It would be Nirvana if I could
listen,
just get.
this is fantastic, but if I
Yeah.
and I saw that monkey and I was like, I understand you, brother, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's never enough with the tit in the mouth, is it? You're always trying to get more
And then you get that one,
surface
then
area.
you get that one, then you're like, hold on a minute,
Yeah.
you've got a sister.
That's quite a short
Yeah.
man's luxury. A shorter man would find that much easier because it's kind of the logistics of the thing is like trying to get the tit in the mouth
I guess
at the
it
same
depends
time
where
as
you-
doing
yeah.
everything else.
Yeah,
But
but we're not talking about standing up sucking on a tit. We're talking about you're going to be in the bed, aren't
even
you?
still lying down.
What are you?
Height
why?
is height. Height is height.
No, it doesn't matter
horizontal
because
and
he's
vertical.
shimmy up and
Bro's
down.
never had sex.
What? Have you ever?
Never done it sat down.
What are you talking
Is this how
about?
you humans interact?
Yes, I must lie where I lie, and you must lie the length that you are. And if it doesn't match up,
And your head's hitting nipple. It's just easy.
but lad, if you're told you just shimmy down the bed
Yeah.
to where your mouth gets under tit.
But there's only so far you can shimmy with your dick still being in the right place.
Wait, now you're talking about doing it while you're having sex, while you're riding.
Which is exactly what Paddy
I
was
don't
talking
think
about.
it is what Paddy's talking about.
Yeah. Again, it was a fun little cartoonish observation, and then we get into the minutiae of it,
I know.
and it's just a bit.
I'm all
Well-
about the minutiae.
Yeah, well,
Listen, listen. That's
that's why you got no titties in your mouth.
the whole.
But you were talking about during the act.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up for a second.
Well, then
What?
I am. Right, so you're talking about actually when you're having sex. Right, well, so then I suppose I am
Or
wrong.
whenever.
You've made yourself look very foolish, Michael.
Well, I just think you've taken our little monkey act out and you've brought it into disrepute.
Well, I was just trying to say it's a benefit of being a short fella.
Right. Yeah.
But that's another dig about him being short.
He's not short.
Well, he's not big, are you?
No.
He's not as tall as you. You big freak.
Average height. I got a suit fit in a shop years ago.
5'9", 5'10"?
Huh?
5'9", 5'10"?
I can't remember. What? Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you say it like that? what?
That was a horrible
We're
way
always
to say it.
You're so Rain Man adjacent. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If your diagnosis isn't it, yeah.
We need to get a little thing of toothpicks and just fuck them on the
5, 9,
ground.
5, 10, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I just like numbers.
Yeah.
Are you hinting towards a number and I love them? I start talking about like human emotions. You're like, 5, 9, 5, 10. 5, 9, 5, 10. 5, 9.
Oh God!
Yeah, I went to get a suit fitting, and they put on the example suit on me, just whatever,
it fit?
and it fit exactly. He said that's never happened. He said you were just like average proportion.
Yes.
just normal stock figure.
There was a guy at a wedding I was at recently, one of the groomsmen. They all went to get suits fitted on the same day, and they were all getting their necks done, and they were all pretty like average men, 5'9", 5'10", and they were just there getting it. And then it got to this guy Sean Joe, and he's just like a strangely built man. He's just like broad in all the places you maybe shouldn't be broad. And the guy went to measure his neck, and he went, "Now that's a neck."
Big fat neck.
Big neck.
Wow.
Big neck on him.
I love a big neck. Like,
you?
well, no, but you know when you see a man, like someone with like,
I've quite a long neck.
What if you do that? You do, yeah.
yeah.
I've got quite straight legs.
Sorry,
You still hit me.
really long arms. Look, I've got really long arms.
No kidding.
Oh, do you know why I think the thick neck lad? I was watching last night the Arnie documentary. I don't know if you saw
I'm
it.
not seeing it, no.
Pumping iron.
Huh?
Pumping iron.
No, that's the one from the 70s, but there's a new, which is unbelievable, by the way. It's a sick documentary, but it's a new one, and it's just about Arnie, just what a success story is, and he's there like sitting at a fire, just smoking a cigar, just bringing us through what a legend is.
Yeah.
But,
Did you talk about the assaults? Nah.
Was he assaulting? He was a great man.
Yeah, he did. And again, you're gonna not like me talking about someone being nefarious, but he's done some bad things.
What's he done, Pat?
He fought Serena Williams.
He made the movie Twins.
Twins is great.
Twins is great.
I can't remember. He sexually assaulted someone or harassed someone.
Allegedly.
And then didn't he also sleep with a nanny? Didn't he get the nanny pregnant?
Well, so what he did, Pat, he was married to a lady named Maria Schreiber, who was a Kennedy, who was so she was like a niece of Robert Kennedy, and so we got into that whole Kennedy clan, which was all along the line. What is amazing is his ascent is just so clinical and like calculating, and so he's just like, I'm going to be the best body. Before he even got into bodybuilding, I'm going to go from bodybuilding to movies to politics, and this is how I'm going to. He just called everything and just and executed everything perfectly. And he was just amazing. And then he's like, he married into the Kennedys in America. Like he was just,
he's just
like,
calculating and got it.
Unbelievably.
Terminator, Nazi Terminator.
Yeah.
Austrian.
Austrian.
But also like,
That's what they're all about.
when his father and his brother, they like die.
Are they big?
Huh?
Are they big lads?
No, like he made himself what he is.
Yeah,
like I mean,
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're not small, but like he completely.
There's got to be so like. There's
No, I
a lot
understand there was a certain amount of
genetics.
work went into his physique. I'm not that stupid. Strangely muscly, that guy.
He's big and all. Very hard fella.
I think that a big takeaway out after this podcast is that Mike and Vittorio are dumber than we even thought.
Yeah, well,
Because this is the light. Paddy's the light being shone on a
Yes,
lot
well,
of.
And also, I'm thick as well.
when we're in a
And
room
that's-
by ourselves,
yeah.
we can get away with it and kind of like encourage each other's absolute nonsense. But you've come in and really, you've poked some holes in our lives here.
I've Louis through it.
You're the tallest dwarf in this scenario. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're no Einstein, but we're making you look pretty good.
Well,
But
I'd love that.
yeah, no, you are looking good, Pat. But Arnie, so he went through all this stuff. So just boop, 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 nailing everything. It's incredible when you look at it. You're like, he's just, but everything was just, so his father dies and his brother dies. And he is on video at the time with just being like, yeah, he's like, I didn't really feel anything when they died. I just, maybe I'll feel something later, but I have my goals and, I just keep moving towards what I want to do, And it's just like, it's insane. It's insane. But so what he did was he banged the nanny anyway. She's Guatemalan, right? And
Full circle.
so
Structurally
full circle.
perfect
That's where the
podcast.
magnetism came from.
Aztecs, the
Yeah,
magnetism,
yeah.
she had him
wow.
under a spell. So he bangs her in his own bed, in the house, right?
After she's made it.
A real
leave the pillows.
a real slap in the face as well, just after she made it. So anyway, bangs her.
She had to make it afterwards as well.
She was their nanny for like 20 years. So like she was
They didn't even have kids. The kids had left home, but it was like, no, we still need.
We still need the nanny.
absolutely.
I'm not making this fucking bed.
So she so she would have the kid would be over in the house because she'd bring the kid over, blah blah blah. That's where she worked, and just like as time went on, like the kid is like becomes like 12, and he's just like, look out, get down, like just clearly Arnie's son, big like gap too, and everyone's just
the nanny's son is wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the nanny's son.
Huh? Well, it was the nanny's son, but it was Arnie's son as well.
my God.
But the son would be over in the house.
Oh no!
And he just looks like Arnie.
my
He's just like a
God.
complete go down. I need dinner. And like, they're like, what
Why does
the
he sound
hell?
like him?
What?
Why does he sound like him?
It's a joke, Vittorio. See, the joke is that he wouldn't sound like him at all, and there's no way that would be it.
You've been very rude to me today, Michael.
I have not been rude to you today.
So wait, when did it all come out?
Get the fuck off me.
I'm sorry.
So rude and mean.
I know. I gave him a kiss though. Sorry. I know. There's been a great Paddy. This is. You are like a child whose parents are fighting and is disassociating.
Yeah, and even seeing them like make up again is confusing because if you tell a child that the parents are divorcing, they can make peace with it, but then they're together again, and then they're like, what?
Yeah, no, I know. I'm sorry, Vittorio.
Why do I look like your boss?
I've been a bit rude. Well, I think you look bossish, and you look.
No, I was talking about the child, talking about Arnie.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, when did that come out?
That came out
doc?
the thing about Arnie with the
with the nanny?
babysitter. Yeah, that came out.
And that wasn't in the doc.
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
No, Arnie's leaving that out with the doc. But
Every time they brought up, people's like, oh.
Absolutely.
It's like Michael with his eyes.
They're like, okay,
Yeah.
but we really should. Terminator 2's on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one where I mount through stuff.
He obviously doesn't put it in the doc at all.
God.
But it came out anyway because it's just like I said, the kid looks unbelievable.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And he's just lifting everything.
Big
in the house.
lad, just Arnie vibes.
And then that was it. And that's the big kind of blemish on his on his life.
He's riding the nanny, but it wasn't like he wasn't doing anything badness.
Well,
was
no,
it? He
because
wasn't.
there's massive power imbalance there, and
yeah, I mean he's a movie star.
and also there was. I'm sure there was. I can't be bothered to Google on the podcast, but
Yeah,
there
Arnold
is, he
Schwarzenegger
did like harass
allegations.
someone or assaulted someone.
So there was stuff when he was younger, before he got married, where he was like he did something. Because as I've been watching Arnie, I've also been a real Paddy on.
yeah,
you
you
know what I
knew we
mean?
were going to meet.
Yeah.
You were terrified of bringing up someone's name.
Yeah. So I've been sleuthing, because I knew if I didn't, Pad's going to be sliding over the
No matter
dirt.
what notable person's name you say, Paddy goes, yeah, but didn't they?
Yeah.
Didn't
Well,
they?
if they've done it, then yeah.
Yeah.
No, but no matter what, you found it.
You are.
Yeah.
You're digging.
It's funny how tone deaf sometimes people can be on that. Like I was in Barcelona when Maradona died, right? Mm-hmm. And there's this Argentinian girl that's a comic there, and her father was really heartbroken because like Maradona was like genuinely, he was like a religion. He was like their god.
Oh, yeah.
And she'd been on the phone to her father earlier, and he like broke down in tears and this whole thing. And there was an American girl there, and she's like, but didn't he like do some stuff with girls, Maradona? And then like we're kind of like, yeah,
Just not. Yeah, come on.
that.
What did he do?
He shagged 8,000 women.
Wow.
8,000.
Roughly, give or take.
Yeah.
Who's counting?
My father.
The guy on the phone crying.
Honestly, when Maradona died, my father, I was on the phone to my mother. I was just chatting to her about whatever. I was in Barcelona at the time, and my mother goes, "Oh, your father wants to talk to you." And I goes, "All right, this is unusual, you know." And so I got on the phone to my father. He said, "Did you hear about Maradona?" I said, "Oh yeah, he died." And he said, "No." He said he shagged 8,000 women.
Wow.
And I was like, "All right, yeah, grand." And then he just put me right back onto my mother.
So funny.
My father was.
He's livid.
Yeah. No, he loves it.
Oh, right.
He loves.
Do you reckon your dad was a big shagger?
No.
At no point in his life?
No.
Well, at
age
least
did you-
4 times.
No. Well, yeah, he shot at least 4. But he he shot from
Here's 4 of these.
yeah. But no, but he wasn't. But see, because he
What age did your parents get together?
my dad was 33 and my mother was 31. No, but lad, but
Michael.
no, but
Michael.
listen to me.
Your
Listen-
father was shagging rings around Kilkenny.
No, listen to me right now. You don't understand. This was a time there was no condoms and he owned land. It was they couldn't do it. If
He was like a prize bull.
he was an absolute prize bull. He was 100%. He had a little ribbon on the side of his ear. He was kicking at people.
A big ring.
A big ring in his nose.
Mike's mum won him at a fair.
He guessed how much he weighed.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to. You have to raise shoulder with it.
So, but the thing was, my father was a prize bull, and he was a lovely little Charlie bull. And
Was he a handsome man?
He was, yeah. He was a handsome man, and he was, but he wouldn't have kept himself as a. You know what I mean? He was just
That in that Irish way,
Yeah.
where you can see there's handsome behind all the
Yeah.
ways they
but he's-
fucked it up.
right,
Yeah.
but he's covered in shit
Yeah.
at all times, almost. And this, even to this day, they
And for the locals, that was
He can't wash his hands.
a little bit more.
The women were, yeah.
His parents getting ready for a first date. One hand of Brill cream, one hand of shit. No, leave the eyes, they're perfect. Everything else, shit it up.
Oh, fuck's sake. Well, that is, I mean, even now, like, because he was in London recently, and it's like he's on the underground tube, and his hands are just filthy, like they can't be washed. No, I'm not joking. They cannot be washed.
Wow.
There's not enough water in the world to wash them, right? So, but my father wouldn't have been shagged around, because if he got,
Because there's no condoms. I'd forgotten the no condoms thing.
And
illegal.
yeah, it was illegal.
Yeah.
So contraception was in Ireland. They were super religious, and if he got a girl pregnant,
Is it-
that's
that's-
half the
that's-
farm is gone.
Yeah, he has to marry.
Because he's staying at home to farm, so he just, that wasn't on the cards. Like, just people, the guy who stayed at
Do you
home
not
on the
think he
farm.
was getting sucked off?
Huh?
Do you not think he was getting sucked off?
I did. Well, we had little sucky calves. I've gone through that with you. There was ways to get your kicks.
Get your kicks.
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
farm.
yeah. Yeah.
On the farm. But maybe he was getting something, but I don't want to.
I'm just saying, I don't think Betsy was the first woman to milk your father.
Would you stop that? I don't like bringing Betsy into this. You know what I mean?
You
Oh, I
constantly.
can talk about his dad shagging for hours.
Absolutely. No, I will talk about
That's
my
all he
father.
talks about.
But
Someone talk about something else, because sorry.
No,
But don't bring
Betsy,
them.
No, Betsy is an
He
angel.
wants to think about, I don't want to think about. More of that and less of that,
Come
please.
on, Pat. I thought I could trust you to, clean things up. But you grew up going from farm to farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like you in the way that I think I lived on 3, maybe 4, but certainly 3 farms. But I was too young. Like, I must have been like 9 when we left the final one. So, and my dad never owned them. He just managed other people's farms.
Yeah.
So like, I never was involved in any
How
of
did he get out of the farming game?
It's a long story, but basically the last one was
Did he leave in disgrace?
no, not in disgrace, but it was a bad company, and they let loads of people go and let everyone down. And like, it's a hard life being a farmer, but at least your dad owns a farm.
That's right.
Whereas we got to live in these huge, farmhouses, which was very nice, but the pay was very, very bad, and you just work.
Can you
12
remember
hours.
anything that you saw on the farmer
We've
experience?
done an hour.
Have we done an hour?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we have to go
flies.
Patreon.
Time flies.
We'll continue the farm
I have
chat
a lot
on
of
the
things.
Patreon.
And I have other things I'm going to talk about, how me and Paddy met. I'm also going to talk about, we went on a holiday to Barcelona together
Yeah.
a few years ago.
We
And
talked Edinburgh as well.
I'll fucking sit here.
What? We didn't even know you then. This is 2019, 2019? Yeah. You just shut up.
Plug your fucking friend's show.
Shall I do that now?
Yeah.
Come see me and Mike Rice. We're the only 2 people here going to Edinburgh this year.
Mike's had his back to me for most of this podcast.
I have not.
You fucking have.
Lad, I've made eye contact with you more than you've made eye contact with me.
Well, that's not hard.
But you know what? At some point, you reap what you sow. Pat.
it's true.
At
He's right.
some point.
He's right.
Anyway, hungry, horny, scared?
Yes, my show's called Hungry, Horny, Scared. It's at the Pleasance Courtyard every day, 9:35 p.m. Come see it. It's a good one.
Get involved. Go watch Paddy. He's fucking brilliant. I saw a preview of the show a few weeks ago.
Yeah, thanks for coming,
And it
man.
was already great, and I'm sure it's going to be even better. Come see me, 6:25 every day at Monkey Barrel.
Me, 10:15, Beehive, also 4:05 Eastside.
I'm trying to work out, will this come out in time for the live? Maybe 5th of August, the live podcast at Monkey Barrel again. If it's already after the 5th of August, I hope you enjoyed it and came. But we're going to talk more on the Patreon, patreon.com/parenting.
Yeah. Up
Get
the lads.
involved. See you there. We're going to have some chocolate and then come back.
Bye, 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 bye.